We live in a world where knowledge is power. We're constantly told that sharing ideas and wisdom is the path to success, that collaboration is the key to growth. But what if I told you that smart people often don't share everything they know? What if I told you that there are secrets that successful, intelligent people keep to themselves? There's a reason why smart people don't always share everything. They've learned that what you say and who you say it to matters more than you might think. And this isn't about being selfish or secretive for the sake of it. It's about understanding the value of your ideas, recognizing that not all information is meant for everyone, and knowing when to keep things to yourself in order to achieve the best possible outcomes. Let's start with a simple question. How often do you hear people say things like, "I wish I'd known that sooner"? If I had that knowledge, I'd be in a much better position. I learned this the hard way, and I want to share it with you. The reason these statements are so common is that people often realize too late that sharing information or ideas without thinking can backfire. It might even be detrimental to their own success. There's power in understanding when to share and when to hold back. Not every idea needs to be shared immediately. When smart people come up with an idea, they don't always rush to tell others. Why? Because they understand that ideas need time to grow. You need space to refine, test, and develop your thoughts before sharing them with anyone. Think about it. The most innovative ideas in history weren't announced the moment they were conceived. The best thinkers take time to let their ideas marinate, analyze potential risks, and prepare for execution. This is especially true in business, technology, or creative fields where a half-baked idea can be stolen, misunderstood, or even ruined by well-meaning but uninformed advice. When you have a good idea, it's essential to keep it to yourself until you're confident that it's worth sharing. This is not to say you should keep everything secret, but rather that some things should be kept in the incubator until they're ready to fly. Next time you have a new idea, take a moment to step back. Don't rush into a meeting or phone call to announce it. Let it breathe for a while. Think it through. When you're ready, share it with those who can actually help bring it to life. Some people will just take what you give them. This one is hard to accept but essential to know. Not everyone around you is invested in your success. There are people who will take the information you give them and use it for their own benefit, with little care about how it affects you. Smart people know that sharing too much can open the door to being taken advantage of. Whether it's a colleague who steals your idea or a friend who benefits from your advice without ever giving back, the truth is that not everyone values what you bring to the table in the same way. This is especially true in competitive environments, like the workplace. There are people who are constantly looking for an edge, and they'll take your ideas or use your experiences to advance their own position without any regard for your progress. You must recognize this dynamic and protect yourself. Be selective in who you share your insights with. Before offering advice or sharing your latest breakthrough, take a moment to assess whether that person is genuinely interested in collaboration or simply looking for an easy way to climb up. You don't need to explain everything. Have you ever noticed that the smartest people often speak less but say more? It's not that they don't have valuable insights. It's that they don't feel the need to explain everything to everyone. They know that not everyone deserves or is ready for the full picture. When you give too much detail, you risk overwhelming people with information they're not prepared to absorb. Or worse, you risk boring them. The most effective communicators and thinkers know how to simplify their message and focus on what really matters. By keeping some things to yourself, you can maintain your authority and prevent others from draining your energy by asking endless questions or seeking validation. Smart people don't need to prove themselves by giving lengthy explanations. They let their work speak for them. Practice getting to the point. Learn to say what you need to say without oversharing. Avoid filling in every gap with unnecessary details. Get comfortable with leaving things unsaid. Not everything needs to be explained. Silence is a powerful tool. A key to success that many overlook is the power of silence. Smart people often choose silence over speech. This might seem counterintuitive in a world where talking and being vocal are celebrated. But silence allows them to listen, observe, and learn more than others might think. When you stay silent, you create space for people to reveal more about themselves and their intentions. You learn how they think, what they value, and what motivates them. By listening, you gain insights that others miss because they're too busy talking. It's in the moments of quiet reflection that great ideas are formed. Silence provides the mental clarity needed to process information and make smarter decisions. By holding back from speaking all the time, you're giving yourself the space to think, innovate, and act with precision. The next time you're in a meeting or a discussion, pause before you speak. Observe the room. Let others talk first. Listen carefully to what's being said and let the silence guide you toward better insights. This practice can often give you the upper hand when it comes to making smart decisions. Not all advice is good advice. One of the most important lessons smart people learn is that advice is not always in their best interest. Everyone has an opinion, but not everyone has the experience or wisdom that would make their advice valuable. If you share everything with everyone, you risk being swayed by opinions that don't align with your goals. The key to success is being able to sift through the advice you get, recognizing which pieces are useful and which ones are just noise. The world is full of people who think they know what's best for you, but only you know the full context of your life, your goals, and your challenges. Smart people listen carefully to advice but make their own decisions, keeping their vision clear and their focus intact. When seeking advice, ask yourself, does this person have the experience and knowledge to give me meaningful guidance? Be cautious about taking advice from those who haven't been through the same challenges or who have different values than you. They know when to cut people off. This one is tough to hear, but it's true. Smart people know when to cut ties. They don't hesitate to distance themselves from people who drain their energy, time, or focus. While most people are taught to be accommodating, smart individuals understand that their success depends on surrounding themselves with the right people. Sometimes that means saying goodbye to relationships that aren't serving you. Whether it's a toxic friendship, a draining colleague, or a partner who's holding you back, the smartest people know when it's time to move on. This doesn't mean being rude or heartless. It simply means understanding that your time and energy are valuable and that you can't afford to waste them on people who don't contribute positively to your life or growth. Assess the relationships in your life. Are there people who are constantly bringing negativity or distraction? It's hard, but it's essential to learn to walk away from relationships that aren't helping you move forward. By cutting these ties, you make room for the people who will truly lift you up. They keep their plans to themselves. Finally, smart people understand the importance of keeping their long-term plans private. If you're always talking about what you're going to do, you risk sabotaging your own success. People will try to talk you out of it, or worse, they'll copy your idea before you have a chance to execute it. Instead of sharing every goal and plan with the world, keep them to yourself until you've made real progress. Once you've got something concrete to show, then you can share it. But until then, let the silence around your plans work in your favor. By keeping your plans private, you allow yourself the freedom to pivot and adjust without worrying about other people's opinions or expectations. When you do finally share your success, it's because you've already made it happen. The next time you have a big goal or project, keep it to yourself until it's well underway. Resist the urge to announce it too early. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Keep some things to yourself. There's no harm in sharing what you've learned. In fact, it can be incredibly rewarding. But smart people know that not every idea, thought, or insight needs to be shared right away. Sometimes, the best course of action is to keep things to yourself, let your ideas develop, and only share them with those who can truly appreciate them. Remember, success is not just about how much you know or how much you give away. It's about being strategic, protecting your ideas, and sharing them at the right time with the right people. By keeping these secrets in mind, you can take control of your own path and make decisions that will ultimately help you succeed in the long run.